Okay, before I get started, I want you guys to close your eyes with me. I want you to take these series of breaths with me. We're going to breathe in for 3 seconds. We're going to hold our breath for 3 seconds, and then we're going to release. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. All right, so essentially what you're doing is you're reinvigorating or you're revitalizing yourself when you go through an exercise like that. And I could take you through that exercise and take you to many levels of of the feeling. And I could take you into many levels of that particular moment. However, that's not what I want to do here. I want you to remember the particular method that I just told you, which is breathing in, holding, and then releasing. Because that's essentially how you feed your soul. And that's kind of like what I want to talk about in this video. Many people, they watch my videos, and a lot of it is comical, I'm sure, and a lot of it is probably things that you may not necessarily not understand, but things that you may not necessarily believe because we've been conditioned to look at reality in a certain type of way. So in this video, I kind of want to, I guess, give a little bit of left brain knowledge and input when it comes to understanding spirituality, when it comes to really, when I say understanding spirituality, when it comes to really having those spiritual experiences that everybody kind of like comes into this thing looking for. Like everybody, they want to come into this thing and they like, I want my third eye to open because I want to be able to experience a reality and an awareness that I didn't know exists prior to opening my third eye. For most of us, opening our third eye is kind of like you're looking for a transcendental or a psychedelic type of experience, and that's for people that use drugs or if you don't use drugs. People that use drugs tend to understand the information a little bit more because, of course, they've had many of these type of experiences because they're experimenting, with their mind. However, people that haven't used drugs, I've consulted a lot of people that haven't used drugs, and they have had these same experiences. However, you do have a group of people that haven't had a lot of spiritual experiences, and this is because you may be a person that is based more, you have a lot of earth energy. Your Mercury may be in Taurus, your Mercury may be in Virgo, or your Mercury may be in Capricorn, which makes you more grounded and more logical, which means you can still have the experiences, you just need a little bit more information so that your mind can believe. You got to trick your mind into having these experiences, and if you don't believe, if your left brain doesn't believe in the information, then of course it's going to be difficult to have these experiences. So essentially what's really causing people to have these experiences versus people that aren't having them is their ability to not only take in chi, but their ability to store chi and their ability to properly release chi. Now, first of all, what is chi? Chi is like a spiritual life force. Chi is like a spiritual fuel of some sort. And people hear about the term ether. And when they hear about the term ether, they know that that's kind of like a burning of the soul. Ether is what causes your soul to burn, which is what gives you your life force. Your life force is the heat. Your body is 96 some degrees, so that's your life force. That's the heat that keeps your body alive. That's what animates you. This is what the Egyptians called your ba, or your soul. And chi is the fuel for that, and chi is found within the ethers. And when you get into breathing in and taking in chi, if you breathe properly, this is how you take in chi. Now, people that don't breathe properly, you got to remember, they don't take in chi. So if they don't take in chi, that means they don't have a lot of spiritual experiences, or they don't see certain things on the spiritual realm. They have a hard time understanding spiritual concepts. People that you may say are secular, The reason why they're secular, or they have a hard time understanding this, is because they're not breathing properly. You could take a person that doesn't believe in aliens, nothing like that, and just sit them down and put them into a situation where they go through some breathing rituals and exercises. And I'd say 3 to 4 months from now, they may be talking about all these other experiences that they're starting to have without you even insisting on asking them about aliens or asking them about light beings or dark beings or what may have you. So that's what's really separating the wheat from the tare, the men from the women, the spiritual cowards from the spiritual superheroes, is really just taking in that chi and understanding what it is. And you got different types of chi, like chi, just like you have different types of ethers. Chi it resonates, or it's, I guess you can say, is equal with understanding ether. When I say it's equal, I mean that to really understand ether on a spiritual level, you have to understand and study chi. It's kind of like simultaneous. And there's different levels to chi. You have some chi that will make you more sexual, or so-called horny, or whatever you want to call it. Then you have other levels of chi that make you very empathic. You have other levels of chi that make you very courageous. Believe it or not, a lot of athletes, of course, they learn how to breathe properly. Why? Because they do a lot of working out. So people that work out, they know how to breathe properly. And a lot of their stamina and a lot of their fortitude comes from the fact that they breathe properly, really. It's not the fact that they throwing up these dumb big-ass weights and all of that. It's the fact that they breathe properly. That's what really makes a person really healthy and essentially spiritual, is how healthy your respiratory system is. Because in the term respiratory, you see re-spirit. So this is how you revitalize yourself. So chi is deep, and there's different levels of chi. You have some chi that resonates with different colors. Some chi resonates with red. Some chi resonates with blue. Some chi resonates with yellow. And depending on the colors that you imagine while you're doing breathing exercises, this will cause you to activate certain chakras that resonate with the particular chi on that frequency, because there's chi for different frequencies. So say, for instance, if you envision the color green, this will cause you to activate your heart chakra, which will cause you to activate more of a feeling of love, joy, abundance, growth. These are things that green really represents growth. So if you want to grow in certain areas, you would imagine green and you would breathe and visualize the color green, and this will give you fuel or chi to resonate with that. And that's why a lot of people aren't really seeing these images and seeing all these different, I guess you could say, having all these different cosmic and solar experiences, is because not breathing properly, people. Our posture is not correct. I have to get on myself. My posture is off a lot of times. It just so happens that I'm always, since I've been meditating for so long, I'm constantly going through these breathing exercises in my mind, even when I'm not meditating. I've been doing it so long, so I'm constantly breathing in, storing, and releasing. And another thing you got to remember is the less you breathe, the lighter your spirit will become. Or the more, when I say lighter, the more you'll be out of your body. So if you want to have more out-of-body experiences, you need to learn how to breathe less. How many times do you go through that cycle in a minute? Most people, they breathe in through their mouth, so they're not even doing it correctly. They're like, that's not how you breathe. If you're breathing like that, you're totally not having any experiences. Or if you are, you could have a lot greater, you could have better experiences if you were breathing properly. So it's kind of like, how long does it take you to go through that process? Because, I mean, really, when you get deep in meditation, you can get to a point, even in a moving state, where you're only going through that breathing in, holding, and releasing phase maybe twice in a minute. And that's walking. If you can get to that point where doing that twice in a minute while you walking, this is how you get into understanding how to bend time, understanding how to astral project or transport yourself from one place to another. It's all based upon how much you breathe. Your breathing is deep, beloved. You can control people around you based upon your breath, how much you breathe. And you can stop time based upon your breath and how you breathe. So breathing, how much you breathe is important. How fast you breathe is very important. How you release the breath is important. You can release the breath like, or you can release the breath slowly, makes very little noise. So there's different ways that you can release the breath, and this is going to kind of govern your chi. It's kind of like a car. And if you're driving really fast, people notice that if you drive over a certain speed limit in most vehicles, you're going to get less gas mileage. Like if you, say for instance, if you had a red light and you always speed off when the light turns green, this is going to cause you to run through your gas. Versus a person that gradually picks up speed, they can run and they can go off less gas or less chi. Well, it's kind of the same way when you understand chi. Chi is the same way. If you breathe fast and like you're breathing like that, you're using up a lot of spiritual energy. You're using up a lot of, some people call it prana. And this is why you may not see things or have a lot of experiences, and you probably don't even remember your dreams, is because you don't. People always hear me say you didn't have enough chi. But I never really went into how do you get enough chi, and how do you know if you have enough chi, and how do you maintain and sustain the chi once you get it. And it's all based upon breathing. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3, which is going into inhaling, holding, and exhaling. However, within that, there's a lot that you can do. There's a lot. You can close your eyes, you can visualize, you can have certain visions and certain experiences while you're taking in the chi. You can visualize certain shapes, and this will cause you to raise your chi level or your awareness to different levels. And chi and awareness and all of that good stuff is very important when it comes to healing yourself, because when I'm talking about healing yourself, I'm talking more like on the astrological level, because the things that are holding you back on the astrological level, what you got to remember is that they're all mental. Like, say, for instance, if you have a negative aspect, people that don't know what aspects are, you maybe need to check out your natal chart, but you may have like a Venus squaring a Pluto, or you may have a Mars that squares off on the moon, or you may have a Neptune that squares off on the moon. A square is a certain astrological, this is a cross. A square and a cross are kind of the same thing. So usually a square represents some form of a crossroad situation you're at with your spirit. You inherited these aspects from past life tendencies and memories. And all of this stuff is stored into your subconscious memory. So in order to reprogram that subconscious memory, you have to first become aware, raise your awareness of your spiritual self, and then you have to begin to shift your perspective. And breathing is good for this. Because like people that are locked into certain modes, say for instance, if you locked into a negative mode when it comes to your thinking, and you expect things to go wrong for you in certain situations. Like say for instance, you've had a hard time with your parents growing up, and they always told you they were going to do something and they never do it. So then when you get older, you may be 50 and you may be still dealing with that experience, but now it may be your husband, or now it may be your girlfriend, or now it may be your children. They may always tell you they're going to do something and they just never seem to do it. You can change that by changing your awareness and shifting your awareness. You have to shift your perspective. And that's usually something mental. So you want to look at your Mercury. Maybe you have some squares to Mercury. So you need to shift your perspective. You may have other negative aspects, which is like oppositions. And oppositions are kind of like things that you are imbalanced in. So opposition, these things start off mental, yet if you don't heal them, they can turn very physical. What I mean by that is that everything that's going on inside of you, like on a psychological level, if you don't solve it on the inner level, it's going to manifest, it's going to come out, like I was talking about in the last video. So on a psychological level, if you haven't mastered your trust issues, and you haven't mastered trusting yourself and trusting your own abilities, then you're going to attract people that you don't trust. Why? Because you need a physical experience to heal yourself from that. And the soul is always trying to heal itself from karma of the past, because it doesn't want to come back naturally. Now, all of this can be healed. I may be talking about psychology and a lot of stuff with the spirit, but you got to remember, it all starts with the breath. It all starts with the chakras, because any problem that you have, you got to figure out what chakra does this resonate with. Trust resonates with the root chakra. People that have trust issues have root chakra issues. People that have lying issues, some people are liars and deceivers. And they may became a liar because their parents or somebody in their childhood may have encouraged that without even realizing it. Because their parents may have said, you better not tell me that you did such and such, because if you tell me you did such and such, I'm going to whoop your ass. And you may know you did such and such. However, your parents told you don't tell them, or they're going to do X, Y, Z, so you just don't tell them, and that's promoting lying. So then now this person is a liar. So now as an adult, you got to pull the truth out of them. You got 60-year-old men that are straight up liars. They lie so much they don't even know the truth. So that's throat chakra issues. Some people have spiritual issues and they want to see more and remember more of their dreams. That's going into the 6th chakra. That resonates with purple. So each chakra has a color, and when you're trying to take in chi for that area, a particular area that you're trying to heal, you need to visualize that color. So you may be trying to heal your crown chakra, which is your connection to your guides and your ancestors in the spirit world. You need to visualize white. You may be having trouble with your third eye chakra, which is visualizing purple. Your throat chakra, visualizing blue. Your heart chakra, visualizing green. Your spleen or your solar plexus chakra is visualizing yellow. Your sacral chakra is visualizing orange. Your root chakra is visualizing red or black. And also black can also resonate with the crown chakra. A lot of people don't know that. You can use black or white for the crown chakra. So these are the colors that you would visualize. And when you visualize this color, when you breathe in a certain rhythm, and when you do it over a period of time, you take in energy or chi. And chi, beloved, is like food. It's amazing. You can go through some meditation sessions and not have any food. And at the end of the session, you're good. It feels like you just ate. You feel very full. So you have to fill your spirit or invigorate your soul through taking in chi, through your nostrils, and filtering out all the bullshit. Sometimes you got to have what they call a woosah moment. Just take a breath, a moment of clarity. And this is the key to understanding how to increase your awareness and how to heal yourself from different negative placements and negative aspects, and how to overall enhance your spiritual reality and enhance your light body, which is something that we have to do if we're going to make it into this new energy and make it through this shift and make it through this new phase or cycle that we're going through, because all of your problems are based upon your awareness. All of your problems are based upon your perspective and how you see a thing. And the perspective is hard to change, because you can hear me talk about this and say, okay, I'm going to shift my perspective, I'm going to start being more positive, and then you go right back to the negative thought because it's programmed in your subconscious mind, and that's where the breathing exercises come in at. Because when you're doing the breathing exercises, this is when you don't think about your problems. This is when you do an exercise to solve your problems. So instead of sitting around loafing and moping saying, man, I wish I could get out of this depressed state and change my perspective like the brother Rob was talking about, instead of sitting around worrying about that, do breathing exercises. Do something about that. You can reprogram that by just going through the exercises. So every time you feel in a certain kind of way, whatever that type of way is, like my man Homie Quan said, shout out to my man Homie Quan from GA. Every time you feel in some type of way, you need to go through these breathing rituals, these breathing exercises, and lighten your spirit and lighten your load. Some people don't want to be more light out of their body. So you want to breathe longer or slower periods. Some people, they want to be more in their body. You want to breathe a little faster. This is like when people that do sports and work out, this get more into your body. So this is why the breaths are more rapid. So mastering your breath is the key essential ingredient that you need to master life. I've been getting a lot of emails about people in their dreams and people saying they want to experience more and they want to be in these psychedelic states if they start doing psychedelics and things of that nature. And I'm not against it, being a stoner at all. Definitely not against it. However, there's other ways, and I have to say that for people that listen to the channel that may have problems. Because some people, they can get into doing psychedelics and drugs and go crazy. So I have to bring balance. But I'm not against any of that. However, there's a way to do it through just your breath. There's a way to do it through the utilization of no external or exterior tools. Just you yourself, and your breath. So I hope that helped you to understand more about your spiritual fuel and how to feed your spirit and things of that nature. I thank you guys for listening and watching. And as always, if you have some type of topic you want me to speak on, just shoot me an email. Got my emails in plenty of the videos. Shoot us an email. And even though a lot of times we may not reply back, we'll always try to get on your video topic. So thank you guys for listening and watching my channel. And until we meet again, I'm going to leave you all in Namaste. Hotep. Good vibes.